Man, he can see.
Echolocation. He's snapping.
He getting a check or something.
Yeah, he get a map when he snap. He get a whole
Biggest
map.
hoax of all time.
He can, this
That
whole
would be dope when
time.
it
That'd
came
be
out there
crazy.
like,
And you know he was never blind. Right?
No,
take his glasses off and wink at you.
Yeah, he'd be like, gotcha.
I got it from Ray Charles. That's jacked up.
Is that
Ray
like
was lying.
considered like false advertisement? Like if you make people think that and then they sympathize with you and buy your music based upon that?
He can get sued.
Can you get sued for
He
that?
probably maybe.
But I think in the time period he came in, I think that worked against him though. I don't know if people were like,
I'm just curious.
I want to play the guy who's blind.
Because he's like a genius if he's
He
doing
is,
all this
musically.
stuff as a blind man. But if he had sight and he was doing all the same stuff, he just
I think he's still
a good musician.
Nah,
no,
he's still
he's top tier still.
Yeah, he
but
top.
He'd be top tier,
he's just
top,
he just
but
a
he's a
fraud.
motherfucking genius.
Okay,
right
put it like
now.
this.
he's
Put it like this. Our birthday song was "Forever Changed" by Stevie Wonder.
sure was.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Sure
Like
was.
top tier. Think about that. Even if he could see,
Don't move.
see everything.
There we go, new tags.
We have a tag for the show.
I mean, yeah, if my pads work, we could have tags.
Oh, yeah, we could.
Yeah, we gotta fix those, yo. We had
But
some.
then the caster needs to be like a little bit
Closer.
or we have a stream deck. And we like,
Yeah.
right here.
Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, we could do that.
I come up with some ideas for some more.
yeah, you have a tag because then whenever someone makes a good point, I'll be like,
Yeah.
Do-do-do.
it's your boy Jay. hey, he cooking tonight. He cooking tonight, baby. He cooking.
Yo, what in the world?
Yeah.
Put a tag on the beat for like that. That'd be trash. This beat is too.
Send it to Ballard and see what he thinks.
Nah, he probably throw it away.
Let's do it and see what he thinks. It's like,
He'll be like,
Ballad,
what?
Ballad don't
Sound
play
like
that
that,
shit.
boy.
He'll be like, click.
Just say it normal.
Delete.
His voice will sound good.
Oh, you said have Ballard sing it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how
In
he
his
sound.
voice, not in that voice.
That is yours.
No.
Like, what do you
Yours
mean?
is trash. Give that nigga Ballad to sing it.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Now I feel bad starting off by it's your boy Jay.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Ashley Booker.
Brittany.
This is the show, Musing Around, the show where we jump on and talk about whatever we want to talk about. Just some friends getting together and having good conversation. So it's one hell of a week. I always start off by saying that. But it's the first time we've all been back on the show.
Yeah, it is.
Been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
People been on vacation.
Yeah.
know?
Hey, I felt like, you know what I felt like?
What?
Kids home alone. I was like,
Because
man,
you were here.
I was here and it was like me and Jay,
All
we didn't
by
really know what to
yourself.
do. We were both just standing here just like,
Yep.
well, I guess we'll
Sad.
just. Yeah, it was different. Missed you guys.
Yeah, I could see.
Yep. But we had some good conversations.
We had great conversations.
That's good.
Yeah.
We're putting the fire.
Yeah. I was by the beach. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That's
got a
awesome.
little, got a little darker. Got a little bit more
There you go.
glowy.
I think I
That's
did
awesome.
too.
Yeah.
Golden?
We
Looks like-
matched.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we
Yeah,
matched.
you
actually.
guys
You was
are
on the
all
beach?
looking good.
You was on the
matching.
beach too?
Yeah.
Well,
Same sun.
Same sun.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the water.
We were a
the
little
pool?
closer
Yeah.
to
A
it.
little splash.
Yeah.
Little splash, splash. I feel you.
Oh, that beach, man.
Oh, damn.
Hey, that water.
It hits you different, man. You get in that water.
Anne Marie.
Oh, damn.
Hey, don't. Hey, y'all. Now listen.
Why did
that's my
she-
lawyer.
Defend.
Oh man.
She sounded good.
I mean, she looked good.
She did.
She did.
She looked
It
good.
didn't
She definitely
sound
looked good.
I mean, you gotta understand. She's like, like probably like my,
You're not
my
old,
age.
dog.
I understand before.
You think she, wait.
For
You was finna say for a woman? What was you about to say?
nothing.
For a singer.
nothing for a singer.
She got good genes.
She has really great genes.
She has aged very well. Some
She has
singers
great
don't
genes.
age that well. We just talking about Keith Sweat. Look like a bum.
Oh, come on, y'all. You ain't gonna do Keith like that. Keith's like 70 years old, probably.
She
right?
didn't
I
age,
thought he
but her
looked good.
voice did.
Her voice did age.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yo, not the voice age. Oh,
Don't people voice age?
You know that granny.
think that is
you
a
know
thing.
that granny voice. It is a thing.
Hi, ladies. Hey, kitties.
Tell that to
You want some
CC.
candy?
I thought the singing voice is
That's
supposed
different.
to age and sound better. As
CC's
you
anointed.
age, you're supposed to sound better.
Well, you may not have the same register. You might not be singing in the same register when you're older, but you can still sing.
Interesting.
You know how Lil Mike sound like
Which
different than
Mike?
Big Mike,
Okay.
right?
I thought it was because of the hormone fit. Nothing.
Oh my God.
No, he on record, his voice was definitely different.
Yeah.
When he got older.
No, like he actually, man, there's been some documentaries talked about it, but his actual speaking voice was much deeper.
Yeah.
Everyone at this point has said it.
Everybody said if you talk to Mike like when he's
Hey, like, what's up,
pretending
bro?
to be Michael Jackson.
But I've
What's up?
seen documentaries of him.
No, but I'm talking about when
When
he's
he ain't being
off.
Mike.
Yeah,
Like if it's like this, how we're on the podcast right now, and then we're like we're kind of like a caricature of ourselves, but then we go out there and we're like, man, what up? Hey, give me a cigarette.
Hey guys.
And Jay's just voice turns to that. He's like, hey guys, I'm Jay.
yeah, boy.
He makes his voice deep for the show.
Get a little deeper. But seriously though, his voice is much lower. But
Yeah.
he preferred the voice, a higher voice. That's what he preferred. So that's what he did. He was true to his showmanship.
I agree.
You know.
You know, there wasn't no cameras around him. Everybody's got camera around now. You know, he would have to have a voice all the time. Like, oh,
He would have got
somebody
caught. He would have got caught.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like how they didn't caught Stevie Wonder, like acknowledging people,
Driving.
like talking to. Yeah.
So can he see? I need to know. What do y'all think? Can
I
he
don't
see?
know.
Well, you know,
Okay.
technically, if you're blind, does not mean that you have zero. You can't see anything. To be legally blind, you can still.
You can
it
make
can be
ways.
fuzzy.
That's correct.
It can be like
There's
blurry.
some people who are 100% blind, no?
Yeah,
There are.
but there's more people who just have very blurry vision.
How blind is Stevie?
I don't know. That's to that point.
You know,
I heard somebody threw him a football and he caught it.
He might.
One hand and
It might be blurry.
Because why are you waving at
Odell.
people?
Oh, maybe someone. Maybe
He
someone
did an
directed
Odell
him.
catch.
Done that to
Stevie.
Odell.
I've seen
Yeah, he
him nod
did.
from the stage a couple times.
As someone in particular.
Well, somebody I heard just recently at the
He
BET
wasn't out. He was
Awards.
doing his thing. Like,
Somebody acknowledged him, and he actually acknowledged
Like
him
pointing
back.
in that
Yeah,
direction.
it was Jamie Foxx.
he heard
Yeah,
him.
Jamie
he heard
Foxx.
him where he was coming from.
Very good. He has very good hearing. Yes.
He has echolocation.
Because
Yeah. Yeah.
That
When
was
you
a- yeah.
blind, your other senses are like.
No, that's
They're
definitely.
heightened. That
motherfucker
is
can
true.
fly.
That
That's
is true. That is true.
You heard
Brittany
that?
doesn't believe you, but it's true.
I believe what you're saying, but at the award show, all those people, you pick out that one,
Yeah, he's like
man, he can see.
echolocation. He's snapping.
He getting a check or something.
Yeah, he get a map when he snap. He get a
The
whole
biggest
map.
hoax of all time.
He can,
Yo.
this
That
whole
would be dope when
time.
it
That'd
came
be
out there
crazy.
like.
And you know he was never blind. Right?
No,
Take his glasses off and wink at you.
Yeah, he'd be like, gotcha.
I got it from Ray Charles. That's jacked up.
Is that
Very
like
blind.
considered like false advertisement? Like if you make people think that and then they sympathize with you and buy your music based upon that?
He
I
get
would-
sued.
I
Can you
would
get sued
consider
for
He
that?
probably maybe.
But I think in the time period he came in, I think that worked against him though. I don't know if people were like,
I'm just curious.
I want to play the guy
I don't
who's
know, bro.
blind.
Because he's like a genius if he's
He
doing
is,
all this
musically.
stuff as a blind man. But if he had sight and he was doing all the same stuff, he just
I think he's still
a good musician.
Nah,
no,
he's still nah,
he's still
he's
up. He's top tier still.
yeah, he
but
top.
He'd be top tier,
he just
top,
he just
but
a
he's a
fraud.
motherfucking genius.
Okay,
right
put it like
now.
this.
Like he's
Put it like this. Our birthday song was "Forever Changed" by Stevie Wonder.
sure was.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, sure
Like
was.
top tier. Think about that. Even if he could see,
Don't move.
see everything.
Only in our culture though, not worldwide.
That's true. Wait,
You start singing that. To
Do you all-
somebody,
do you all
they're gonna
sing-
be like, "What the fuck you singing?"
Wait.
I sing both versions.
Happy birthday.
Day to
Everybody
you.
does.
I do.
I sing both versions.
Do you do the head when you sing
I do
it?
that.
I don't do the head, bro. Y'all crazy out here in these streets, man. Y'all doing the head.
We sing it
You
at
know
church.
you-
We sing it at church. I don't do the nod at church because that seems cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't do the nod at all. Don't do the nod at all. But yeah,
He
It's
could be a
fun.
fraud, and we're just joking
How
along
can you
with him.
not, though? That's how he sings. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson, you want to do the moonwalk?
that's-
Michael Jackson did
it's
moonwalk.
his signature, yeah.
Stevie did this.
bro, y'all act like it's a dance.
You know
Well,
what
maybe
I'm
it's, I
saying?
guess it's a head nod. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Ray Charles, I'm gonna make it do what it do. He be, you know,
I make it do
on
what
that
it do.
shit.
I make it do what it do, baby.
On that shit.
That was on that
Do what
shit.
it do, baby. It's your boy.
Yo, she gonna let that die at all.
I'm sorry.
She was like,
Great.
say,
That Ray Charles sound like Jay's real voice, not his pod voice.
yeah, well, you know, this is all showmanship right here.
Oh shit.
Man, so what's going on?
Yeah,
in
you said
life?
some shit. You had a crazy week.
It's been a crazy week.
Why?
Well, for a lot of things, if you've been paying attention to the news.
No. I get my news from this podcast, actually.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, sure do.
So tell us.
What do we want to dig in? I mean, there's Iran. What's going on in there, over there?
Trump liberated the world.
Did he?
Puffy's about to walk.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, dude,
This is good.
I
Did
think
you,
it's
see
been a good week.
did you see what I sent you? Ash, did you see what I sent
Sounds
you?
like great news.
Did you see what I sent you?
Yeah, but that's still, that's sway propaganda.
For those of you who don't know, this wonderful gentleman, he went back and
Could
did
mock
some
folks the whole
research. He did some research on Trump recent policy opinions about policies, specifically Obama's with Iran and the agreement that came in place. So he had walked back the Obama agreement with Iran to support them to have a peaceful nuclear program, right? And he had made fun of him a whole bunch. And when he came into office, he got rid of it. Well, fast forward now, after he got rid of it, and was all in the post, because he got rid of it, it created more tension. And then Israel fired missiles on Iran. And then after that, obviously that creates more tension. Then the U.S. decided to strike Iran too as well in a coordinated attack, or quote unquote. And after that, the tension increased again. And supposedly the attack failed, is what one of the news stations is reporting. And then from that, Iran struck back and stated that they were going to close the waters around them. So most of the oil that comes out from that area, 20% of the world, or the oil, would not go through their waters.
Huh.
So all of a sudden now we have to make different decisions on what's going on.
We'll beat their ass. Anyway, but yeah, that's cool. Hey, that's great to say. It sounds powerful, dude.
No, this is what happened. And then after that, Trump went to China to talk to convince Iran to not do that. And China was like, nope, we're not going to say anything to you or say anything because all the things been going on. And proceed forward, Trump is now offering $30 billion of some type of new agreement to make a, what is it called? Some type of environment-friendly program for nuclear.
Huh.
He's spending $30 billion. That's what the offering on the table or something like that.
Where are you getting that from?
Yep.
You?
Yep.
Oh, damn.
Yep. So he took us out of this agreement to now put us in a new agreement and put more money to pay for the agreement.
He's so smart.
Well, he's our president, and decisions made or the decisions is made. We'll see.
You agree?
No.
Okay. Sounded like it for a second.
Nope. I'm trying to be a little impartial. I'm trying to be like Fox.
What do you think, Thomas?
What I think about what he's doing?
Yeah.
I think he just
Ash is like, oh.
That is the most skewed, opinionated.
Let me get my thoughts
stuff
out
I've heard
real
all
quick.
week. Anyway, let's go. Let's go.
Well,
Come
he's
on.
doing what he always does.
Go
You know, he's trying to be the most influential, not in any way. So he does what he can do to be remembered, and that's it. And if this is the way, this is the way.
It's ego.
Yeah, that's all I think. Go ahead, Ash. What you got to say about it?
What I have to say is so deep that I'm gonna throw it to her first because it's very deep. Because I think it's deeper than what we're actually seeing above the board of what's really happening. Because of the attacks and because of what happened, there's something that just all seems a little staged with all the nations all working
Which
together.
part is staged? Which part is staged?
Us bombing their nuclear facilities.
You think that's staged?
That
So
was
you
not
don't
real?
think we did it?
I think we did something. I just don't think we hit what they're saying we hit.
Well, they saying we didn't hit it.
We didn't hit it. I mean,
Or
you
didn't
would have
destroy it.
you would have
didn't
nuclear
destroy it.
fallout.
Well, depends
Do
on
we
the type
have
of ordinance
visuals?
you use.
Do we have visuals? I'll be honest. I'm one of those people. I try
there's
to
no
avoid the
visuals.
news sometimes.
No.
Show
There's no visuals of it.
There's no
but
visuals.
now I'm not as
I think everything's kind of coordinated.
I'm not as privy on nuclear sites and how they're constructed, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're constructed in such a way where they can take impact and not cause a bunch of nuclear
But
waste.
it was softened though. That's how they allegedly destroyed them.
We thinking the same thing because we don't know what y'all.
Okay, I'm sorry.
They were soft.
They were softened by
I heard nuclear and I heard
um,
impact, and then I heard
by
soft.
missiles
Like,
lower, like from like submarines and things like that. They it was coordinated attack. You know what I mean? It wasn't just the B-2 bombers just didn't come.
Yeah,
it was softened and then boom.
Oh, I got you. Like they
we
softened
didn't
it
hurt
up,
a lot of people, just a few
and then
people.
bam.
Yeah,
well, they specifically
Not everybody got hurt. They were soft.
that's actually not.
they
Funny.
were specific about
That's laugh.
the ordinance and how they went about actually bombing the sites to ensure there would not be any fallout. That's what the U.S. had stated at the time. But from that, they said they destroyed the sites, and then I guess I think AP, Associated Press, had published articles saying they, based on sources, they did not destroy the intelligence. Based on recent intelligence reports, they did not destroy the sites. So who knows? But right now, I think there's a lot of stuff going back and forth. Gas prices went up. Well, gas prices didn't go up. The gas stocks went up.
Maybe that's
Quite a
the plan
bit.
right there. That's the goal.
I think the goal's bigger. It's all. I think it's three nations trying to get what they want.
What do you think they want?
China, Taiwan, Russia. What's the place we've been protecting? Ukraine. Us, we want Greenland.
We want Greenland.
Yeah.
Well,
So now listen.
we don't want Greenland.
Trump.
We don't want Greenland.
Well, I mean, okay. Well,
We have no reason to.
Well, how
want
about this?
Greenland.
How about this? He can't act alone. And I love how
It's not the
people
green
want
space.
to always say that this man is in this office acting by himself.
Oh, no, we don't think that.
Come
No,
on,
he's not.
All right, come on. Sorry, and that's both sides, bipartisan.
Do
too,
you
by the
want
way.
Greenland?
I don't care.
you
What
want
I'm saying,
Greenland?
I think it's a land grab. I think it's a land grab.
okay.
I think
I'll
for
take
all the
Greenland.
nations, and it's a coordinated attack to make these things happen. That's why you have the treaties right now that are going in place in the ceasefires. Like, look, it seems like things are working and coordinated because the big people are allowing it to work like that. The big nations. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because obviously this thing could be way worse than what it is right now.
But China hasn't made recent moves on Taiwan.
But I heard, well, it's just as speculatory as everything we just heard in the beginning of the segment. But the thing is that the speculation that
But
I've
it's
heard,
AP articles.
AP
from what
articles
I stated.
cannot be trusted. We know this.
Associated Press.
The Associated Press.
Anybody associated?
AP.
The educational system?
Because we know that's not flawed.
Your governor, your president?
We know that's not
You can't
flawed.
trust these
Okay.
people?
So if we live in a world,
can't
let's
trust
take
it.
a step
Yeah.
back. If we live in a world that we feel like the news can't be trusted, then what do you trust?
I don't. I like that.
Okay.
That's why I don't. That's why I get my news from you guys, because I don't trust what I'm seeing on TV.
Well, you shouldn't
ever.
just trust us.
Yeah, don't trust us either.
Y'all my homies. I should trust y'all,
Well,
right?
no, it's also
But
opinion. It's
yeah,
opinion.
it's opinionated.
Just like how the Associated Press and
Damn, I can't trust y'all
media
either.
is opinion. Yeah.
He looked like,
Can't
dang,
trust
bro.
nobody.
You know what?
These
If there
niggas
was
lied to me all this time
if,
too.
If there was a modern
Lying
I Am
asses.
legend, it would be Ashley Left
He be the only one
with
left.
his German Shepherd. Yeah,
Thanks.
he'd be Will Smith.
He Will Smith.
I'm getting in shape right now, so I probably will be.
He Will Smith
Yeah, I'll be
with
doing
some
pull-ups in the
braids.
door.
He'd be like,
Yeah.
I seen all this happen, and that's why I had this. Boom, boom, boom. I tried to tell y'all, and I'm just out here chilling by myself.
Nah, I'm not. I don't want to be here by myself. I'd
The
rather,
zombies.
Yeah, I'd rather. I don't know, perish with
By
everybody else.
But no, you can't trust the
his
news
ass
at
either.
all.
He ain't gonna tell
You
no
don't trust
shit.
the news at all?
0%.
I think we're in a zero-sum game right now when it comes to the media. I think we're playing against ourselves at this point. Because here we're at a point in time where you only follow. I think we said this on the previous. Maybe we were talking about it. People only subscribe to the opinions that they already like.
Exactly. So imagine you following the
No,
people that you
no.
already like.
Oh, no, I'm saying that's where we are now. So we do not. Most people do not trust. Not most. A lot of people do not trust some of the bigger news outlets, and they instead go for the people who state the things that they already agree with, which creates
And that's not news. You already knew it. News to me is something fresh.
No,
like
opinions. They
go with
agree
their
with their
opinionated,
opinions.
yeah.
So like either you're super left leaning, super right leaning, and then the pundits are already speaking to what you like, the opinions that you already agree with, right? And you're not really informing yourself, right? You like before when we weren't in the age of information that we are in right now. you only could get your news through specific outlets, the TV and the radio. And before that, just the radio. And you only had certain type of outlets even broadcasting. Now, I'm not saying you cannot control people, and they weren't controlling people at the time.
But I think that's what's created the world we live in.
That's factual.
Because it's like, when did they start doing that? From the beginning?
Right.
No,
from the wealthy people have always owned the information. Always remember that. The person with the money owns the information. The king owned the information. Whoever was running the land owned the information. And so therefore, you tell the townspeople whatever you want to tell them, to keep them and quell them however you want. You can be like, hey, I don't like beef, so y'all don't eat beef.
Yeah.
Beef is bad. I'm just saying we can take things out of scripture. We can take things out of policies, political things, depending on who's in charge and who has the money and who has the money and the influence and the power. That controls really what we are digesting as far as information that we're getting. Now, social media and things like that have kind of blown the door off of that, because now you have camera phones, you have things where it's like, well, I'm actually here. This is what's really going on. Like, what in the world is this?
But
that's not what's being reported on the news.
But it's it's gone too far in the sense of this. You got that. You got a little bit more truth being highlighted and shown, but also you got a lot of additional propaganda being pushed, and you got this cult-like stuff that's happening, where you got people believing in things that may or may not be true, but they're hearing it from someone who just either at times using simple logic to add a piece it all together with very thin research, right? It's like, well, if 1 + 1 = 2, then of course this doesn't make sense.
It's just sad that I see kids that can be fooled by social media and stuff. Like, oh, my nephew the other day, he was like, we have a shield around us like Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? It was like, no, dude, we don't have an actual physical shield. You know what I'm saying? We have, defense mechanisms that will shield us, but it's not like a Wakanda shield. So he got that information from probably some sort of stupid website or stupid social media. So are you telling me that adults are believing that there's Wakanda shields around there?
But
that's some crazy shit.
Yes, but
me.
Hear me out on this. Now, there's a bunch of stuff that may or may not be true. That's why I keep saying that. May or may not be true. But the problem is when the person leading you is further from the truth than the news outlets may or may not be, then there's a problem, right?
How do you examine truth?
Well,
in anything,
I like that.
Well, it's perspective, right?
Perspective may not be true.
No, I said I guess the person that's stating the truth, they're giving it from their perspective. And the angle you're looking at things in could change the lens of what you feel like your truth is in the situation.
So then it's like my perception is my reality type of thing.
I like that.
So really, we don't know what's true from the beginning of time till now.
No. Look, there's the truth.
Always from Bible days till now. There's always somebody saying, that's why we have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They gave 4 different accounts on the same person that they all travel with.
But that's why I'm saying there's the truth. Which is the truth of the universe, truth of the world, truth of everything. And then there's perspectives. Our viewpoints of understanding what the truth is.
That's my opinion then.
Right?
That's not truth.
Well, no. What I'm saying, okay, let's get scientific. It's like a fact, right? In science, how a fact is established is through tests. You have a hypothesis, right? You form your hypothesis, you go through your experiments, then after that, through the conclusion, right? You get to proving out either it's what your hypothesis was either true or not true. And if that test continues to be true, then it becomes a fact. So what I'm saying is this. Facts are not written in stone. They're tests that are continuously done that equals out to the same result until it doesn't. So our society is built on humans going out in the world and trying to interpret what's in front of them and translate that into something that makes sense to us, right? And I'm speaking outside of religion and a couple other things. I'm speaking purely from how we take in information. So that in general, that by itself, not even in general, that by itself is a little scary because there's probably a lot of stuff out here that we think is true that's probably not true. It's furthest from the truth. But in culture and society and governments and what's actually happening in places, right? We live in a time frame currently right now where people speak to the gray areas or the spaces that are not shown. So, for example, like terrestrial beings. Well, there's a lot of stuff out there about it, right? But we're speaking to a space that where you don't have as much information. Now, some person they say I may have had a experience where I interacted with someone that wasn't from this planet. Okay, that may be real or it may not be real, right?
That boy watched that Elio.
Now we're looking at them crazy, like, okay.
No, but recently, recently the government has talked about that it's a real thing.
Do you think there's aliens, Ash? I want to get him because he always. Do you think there's extra?
No, there's definitely aliens.
Okay.
I don't know.
There's definitely aliens.
Okay. What do you think about dinosaurs? Just curious.
I don't know.
I need you to know. You're the source.
I mean, I'm telling y'all, like that's why I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just
Both
think,
sides, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. I think
knows?
there's aliens. The government has stated that there's aliens.
What about dinosaurs? You believe them bones that fossils they've been digging up? They got fur sometimes. Sometimes they got feathers.
I would say this.
Sometimes they got.
I don't.
beaks. You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
it's a perfect example of what I said earlier. We try to interpret what's around us the best we can for what technology we have available to us. I think originally we thought T-Rex was this big dinosaur and all of these things, and he was reptilian and he had all this specific. His skin was a specific way, bone structure and all that stuff like that. And now, fast forward, he was really a chicken, with feathers.
Yep, that's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying now. So that's why I'm like.
He's a big.
We
chicken.
only know what we know based on the information.
Big bird.
And you can only really get to the truth in this society that's built up with governments and all the stuff like that when we speak on human things, like things we've created, right? Not necessarily like things that exist in our plane, exists around us that we're trying to understand. Like, with this grass, how did grass come to be? I'm just making something up. I'm talking about like what's happening in a different country. There's truth of what's actually happening in that country, and someone from that country that's filming it may have evidence to show that, right? But it's scary because we're living in a time frame where you can doctor all of it.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say about recording everything, because now that's not fact anymore.
That's not fact anymore.
AI.
Yeah.
Not very much.
Everything goes back to AI.
How do other countries? Some countries don't have social media and all those outlets, right?
They have access to most countries have access to the same media outlets that we do. They may control it.
Yeah, some don't. Yeah, some are censored.
Or some don't use it as like we do.
Or they have their own things that are like comparable
I got
things, but might be called something different.
What they're saying might be different. It's kind of like how they were doing the whole thing on TikTok, where kids in other countries were saying different than what our kids were saying.
Right. And then when they took it away, and then we all got on theirs.
We all freaked out.
No, I went on theirs.
I forget the name of it.
It's
TikTok,
wealth,
Red
it's
Note,
science,
Red Note or whatever. But like you go on there,
knowledge.
Well, it was even more. It was funny because they were actually educating us on like all the misconceptions that we have from our media and things, and how their country's portrayed. And how life is really
They're
like.
trying to tell their story.
They were. Because we were on their platform. They were like, hey, Americans, since you're here, right, let us explain to you a few things. Like, our country's really like this. Like,
It's the same way how people think Africa is all
I agree.
just poverty.
Or hell, if people talk about St. Louis, man, my friends be like, how the hell do you live there?
They're like,
You
oh
know
my
what I mean?
gosh,
How many times you been shot?
Are you hearing gunshots
I-
every night?
Yeah, because of the way it's portrayed, in the media. The way it's portrayed, we look at it in a way where it can be, swayed. And honestly, you can look at like a 2-block radius and think it's a whole place. Like, it's like even the things that was happening in Los Angeles. I talk to my friends. I'm like, hey, are you okay? They're like, dude, that's like,
1 block.
yeah,
radius.
like 1 block radius, bro. Like, no,
One to
dude, I'm
2
going to
miles.
work right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking like, damn, man, is LA up in flames? And they're like, nah.
Same thing happened with Ferguson.
Yeah, same shit popping, bro.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but it wasn't the end of the world.
No, but it was like literally a 2-block radius. Anybody who's familiar with St. Louis, like Ferguson, and where the actual stuff, actually Ferguson's bigger than where the protests are really going on. I mean, we're talking about literally a little small portion of Ferguson.
Facts. Again, what happened was not great. at
No,
all.
no,
And that
but I'm
was the
saying,
end
but the
of the
way,
world for somebody.
but I guess what we're alluding to
that's
is
true.
the way it's portrayed.
Exactly.
See, that is where we're going, and I think this is where we're looping back around to where it's like, and it was portrayed by who? And it wasn't just one media source, so I don't want to just say like one or the other.
Yeah.
No, both media sources
it was all.
portrayed it in a way where it was like
Yeah.
something that they can all kind of grip their things. Now, they can push their agendas within that, but it's still made into something that it really isn't for theater. And that's why I kind of always lean towards theater when it comes to even government, because even government people that I am friends with, which I'm remain nameless, but the thing is that I can see they're a caricature. They're not like that for real when you talk to them. If it's like going in there, it's like we can be like this WWE. We can be like this right here, and then walk out there and then be like, oh yeah. Whatever. Or I know people, I mean, I can use music industry examples. It's like people who will turn on, be in an interview, do all that stuff, but then really be quiet.
Yeah.
It just sucks that those folks are just running this country like that, though. That's serious shit. War is serious shit, right?
I think we have to always realize is that
It's complicated.
it's so complicated because what you have is bigger than just a politician, man. There's money and power and shadow people that are behind things of who control the actual politician, because the politician a lot of times is propped up for whatever reason. I mean, those answers I don't have. Right.
That's crazy. They
Well,
don't
they
even know who to
don't. They don't
trust.
know what's going on half the time.
Trump
I mean,
probably don't even know who to trust.
man,
Like,
you got to
nobody
understand
knows.
is that for
It's like, why they're so mad at me? They told me to be
anybody's
like
turn.
this.
as my people like him, you know, a lot of people have a
Why
disdain
is they
for
so
him.
mad at me?
I'm just saying. Well, I mean, I'm just saying on both sides. You got okay.
Anybody
Let's
can turn.
just say if you walked in his shoes, how many people you think he feels probably want him dead? I'm just saying.
But that's for any president.
What that's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying it's not easy being in
No,
any
but
of
how
those
many
guys'
people do you
shoes.
think he can fully trust?
Probably no. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like
Exactly, yeah.
it's probably a very few amount of people that he can actually trust. The
colonel.
Because
Colonel.
I don't know if you could trust the military
KFC.
complex sometimes, because
No.
military complex has
They
power.
using you.
They have power, man.
I will
The
say,
military industrial complex has its own power. Will you at least admit that? They do.
No, they do.
Outside of our traditionally
scared?
elected officials.
You scared to say it?
They do have power. I mean, everybody knows
I'm
that.
not scared to
I'm not
say
saying anything bad about them.
I'm not scared to say
I'm
it.
not saying
They
anything
might come in.
bad.
They might come
but
in
I
creative
always have to be
labs.
careful.
I'm not saying anything bad about them.
I have to be careful with Ash, because Ash be like, yeah, and then he be like, yes, now come in my circle. And I was like, I don't agree with everything you're stating, sir.
Oh no, he'll say not 1-to-1. I don't agree 1-to-1. That's just everything is
he'll say
1-to-1.
that. Yeah, he'll say that.
It means
He'll
not
say that.
exactly.
Not
1-to-1
exactly,
means
but
not exactly.
but I get what you're putting down. That's it.
But I think the truth is somewhere in the center.
So
Meaning, a
thank
blend of
you. That's
everything.
all I'm saying.
I grew up.
everything.
My mom listened to both sides. She listened to far left. She listened
You
to
should.
far right.
As you
think you-
should.
as you
As
should.
you should. Thank you, Thomas.
And
Thank you,
that's-
Thomas's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that's
I love you, mom.
that's the point I was going to get at.
She's a listener.
I was going to
That's
say, I think we have to challenge ourselves to listen to multiple perspectives and stop this only focusing on the people saying the things that you already want to hear.
Right.
Like you have nothing. First off, you have nothing to learn. Two, they could take you off a cliff,
Correct.
and you don't even know you're going off a cliff. So
But
for
you
me,
want to be part of something. They want to feel like they're with whoever.
I
You're
get it.
Part of a bigger thing.
join a baseball team. Join a baseball team if that's what you want. Join a kickball team.
Get the chess club.
But what if I'm not good, Jay?
Go play some
What
video
if I'm not
games.
athletic?
Go play some video games, man. Jump on some games with your friends. You know, if you don't got friends, then you know what? Come to Creative Labs.
Come make some friends.
But no, seriously,
Good points.
I think people should get out there and get out their space. Go talk to people.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you have a friend who's a Republican, talk to them. Understand the perspective. If you're a Democratic, if you are strong in Democratic views, you know what I'm saying? Talk, and you're a Republican, talk to us. Sorry, not you're strong. If you're Republican, you have a friend that's Democratic, talk to them. Get their perspective. Understand what they're talking about, what's their angle, how they view things. Because you know what? The reality is you're probably going to find yourself have more in common in some of the things that they're talking about for you to even start to have a conversation about, oh, you know what? Well, if we really think about this, there's probably a way forward that makes sense. And that's where I think my frustration is. I think we're in a place where we're so polarized on two sides, and then in the middle you have all these little mini pundits who's speaking up all these different angles, right? And that's where I think people are lost. People are lost in the sauce, man. They going and following 3 dudes on YouTube, and then they think they got all the information. In reality, if they took a step back, you can listen to those 3 dudes, but listen to like 20 other people, right? Listen to everything, taking all the perspectives, and I bet you probably have a better view of what you had before. Not perfect, because not everyone's out there.
When people out here grifting,
Yeah,
we know what time it is.
What you mean?
You're trying to get money.
Yeah.
So they speak to, they speak to an audience.
Do
They
what
do.
You
sells.
hear me?
And I think people don't realize that.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope they know that. Like, that's
know.
all. I mean, a lot of people lean further into something, or you'll see people switch sides, like a Candace Owens,
Tucker.
huh? Or like Tucker.
Oh,
Candace
man,
Owens.
Candace don't switch. She switched sides.
Oh,
Yeah.
Candace listen.
She ain't
Candace
playing no more.
Candace is not sounding like Candace before. I tell you
That's
that
what I
right now.
said. I'm very disappointed.
Candace Owens, Tucker's not sounding like Tucker.
She joined the other side a little bit.
Man,
Tucker
listen,
too.
What?
It's because of your man of what
I
he's
think
doing.
no.
I
I
don't know
think
what
it's
it
because
is.
I think me personally. I think she was looking for that that cabinet seat and probably didn't get it or something.
You know what?
She feeling a little
I don't think it's
salty.
that.
She's feeling
I
away.
don't think it's
Anybody
that.
can be swayed at this point. It's like,
People
why
look
are
for
you
that
shocked when
Kevin.
somebody switches
I
sides?
don't think
Yeah.
it's that. I don't think they feel. I think some people don't feel
Maybe.
special no more.
But
Like, you
maybe
gotta
she
think.
just has views in the gray area.
No. She
Like you
probably
saying.
does. She probably does. I'm not saying this.
She
but
does.
great.
She does. But if you think about it, right? If
That's fair.
if you're a hardcore Republican and your man's in office, right?
Yeah.
And all the viewpoints is centered around who's in the office, and the majority right now is it's feeling like, hey, yeah, everyone's kind of like feeling Republican. Cool, check. You don't stand out anymore.
Yep. Now you said. Yep. Thank you. Here
And
we go.
now you have to do
Let's go
some-
for the grift.
No, I'm
Let's
not
go for
saying
the money.
she's doing that, but someone out there is doing that.
There's grifters.
It's definitely some people out there doing that for sure.
Would it- would it-
It's way more shocking when I'm sorry. to
No, you
interrupt
go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, would it be easy for y'all to switch your moral or ethical or whatever view for money?
Whew.
Well,
What
for
kind
me,
of money?
For me, no. But I don't. I think most people don't do it for money; they do it for power.
But why do people want power?
How much
they
are we
can make more money.
Why we think the same? I was like, wait a second.
Thomas is like,
Ashley's always gonna ask how
carried it
much.
too.
Ashley's
No matter what, Ashley is always gonna ask how
I
much.
get to decide? Throw a number at me and see what I say.
Like, would you sell your soul to the devil? Well,
Oh, come on.
Oh my
Why so extreme,
gosh.
British?
if you had 10 million, maybe.
The thing is, they're gonna pay somebody else to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get
I'm just
done.
playing.
I'm playing
Wait, what?
too.
It's gonna get done. The
That's a
message is gonna
crazy
get out. They're
segue,
gonna
'cause
pay
she said the
somebody
devil.
else to do it.
Okay, what?
They're gonna pay somebody else to deliver the message, right?
So if you say no, they're gonna get somebody else. But
So
then
it
you,
should be you?
you stood
Yeah,
your
why not?
ground.
Somebody's gonna. The message is getting out there. So listen.
Save the world.
Listen. This is what I'm saying. Like,
Have some integrity.
if it's gonna happen anyway, why not get paid for it?
He said, "Look, someone got to take this check. It's got to be me."
Because it's your
It's gonna get out there
reputation.
anyway.
It's your character. It's your integrity.
Somebody got to get the money.
Go get
I
the
care
money.
about my family and my friends. You say whatever you want outside, and then hey,
You
I
gonna
didn't
do
mean
it?
that shit. Here's $10K. Right, shut
So
up.
if they like,
I'll buy you a car. Right.
hold on,
quick.
Thomas.
I'll shut up. I'm like,
Thanks, T.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And
You
I
should have
think
said what you said. Ma, here's a house, yo.
I think if you're pushed in a situation, you probably wouldn't do it. Because like, think about this: if they was like, "Look, we want you to read this piece of paper, Thomas, and we're going to pay you $5 million,"
And what the paper say?
the paper says, "Well, black people are out here killing everybody, and they do not deserve."
Exactly.
Come on, bro.
That's what I mean. You just gonna flip like that for some money?
In what world is that
Stop.
happening? Oh, the Haitian thing.
He would do it.
Cats and
I'm just
shit.
saying.
Thomas would do it.
Probably.
Look, Ash is like, "How much was it again?"
Thomas would do it. Ashley would do it. I don't think we would do
that boy out
it.
there got his tap dance shoes off.
I ain't doing
Like,
nothing like that.
hey, let me go clean my tap dance shoes off.
Like, these niggas out here shooting everybody.
Oh, y'all some sellouts. Y'all some sellouts, bro.
I'm not doing that.
Straight up sellouts.
I guess Tom is like, well, I guess if they get mad at me, I just pay them off and shut up.
Shit.
I got the money for all of
You
us.
said you got $5 million?
He did it for the cause. Okay.
So, Brittany, would you do it?
I did it
I'll
for
put some
respect.
money back into the community.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No.
That's what you do.
We
The
would-
community that you
what you
just
do.
destroyed?
We wouldn't accept it.
Yeah.
We wouldn't accept it.
You destroy us and then
I'm
give
not
us the
accepting
money?
Well, Jay, you have dignity.
He did destroy.
You have morals. But like,
We did destroy the community by saying what we said. It was already destroyed.
That sounds like a,
Dang, bro.
no.
Niggas already shooting
a
each
hot
other.
take.
What are we doing?
That's
You
a
know
hot
what
take.
that sounds like? That sounds
That's
like
a
an
hot take.
abusive relationship where he's like, well, I fed you though.
See?
Yeah.
No, that's
They
terrible.
used to have names for that. There's like, what was it, Uncle Tom? Hey, someone got to tell Master.
Hey, how about Master? They ran away.
Time out. The difference is,
Okay.
Uncle Tom didn't get anything to progress his family.
Well,
He did.
yeah,
What?
he
Got to
did.
be in the
He
house.
got to be in the fucking
He
house.
got the big house and chicken. What you mean?
In the
Got some
act-
chicken?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking about
What kind of chicken?
Django.
Oh my God.
They had fried chicken back there?
And you saw what they still did to him. So after they get done using you, they're going to get you too.
Yeah, they're going for Thomas. He be the first one. See? But like,
They forgot about you.
this is what happens when you stick with your friends and don't get all the perspectives. You gotta get some more perspective.
Hey, y'all, this is what's wrong with black folks. You see what we doing to each other right now? Why is this even
Why
a
are we even
conversation?
talking about
Yeah,
this?
why is
Because
this a
we're
conversation?
musing.
I think it's beautiful because you know what? It shows that we are not a monolith. We are not a monolith.
No,
You know, there's very much diversity within the black community.
there is.
We do not all agree on the same thing, but one thing we will do when there's tragedy, we will stick together, my friends.
Do
Who does? We do.
Yeah, I
we? Where
mean,
you get that from?
what do you mean? Think about all the civil rights that's been passed in this country.
That didn't necessarily mean that everybody
Stuck together, get ourselves.
We definitely stuck together to get that passed.
We ain't
A
slaves
large
no
group,
more.
yes, but not everybody.
There was minority of Uncle Toms out there, you know what I mean? But for the most part, the movement was
a hot
strong
take.
because us sticking
I
together.
don't know if that's everybody. I'm sorry.
So you don't think the black community sticks together?
Absolutely not.
No, I think that's our problem.
Wait.
It's the
Are you
opposite.
thinking? Are you thinking about in the current time frame? Or are you thinking about
talking
In
before?
general.
I just think in general, I think they've been
Okay,
able to
man, I need
to
to-
break us up a little bit, and I think
Of
that's why
course.
they've been able to kind of win a little.
So I'm talking about in the past. In the past,
Why
you
are
don't think we
talking
stuck
about the
together?
past?
I mean, the past is now.
Okay.
I mean, we're just different scenarios.
Ashley always does some
We on the
extra.
DeLorean right now, nigga.
This is just a we're actually in a simulator right now.
Time isn't real. So, it's really 1964
Ashley's
right
like,
now.
this is just your caricature.
Yo, he said this is the change.
all time is existing at the same time.
No, I know
So
what you
like the
meant.
civil rights are happening.
It's okay.
where-
It's
no,
okay.
I know,
I
I'm
know what
joking.
you
I'm
meant.
joking.
It's
Yeah,
But on some
I know
real
what you
shit.
meant. I know what you meant.
Well, I'm not joking about the dimension, but we'll get there later. We'll get there later. No, but I will say this.
I know
is
what you
that
meant. I know
what
what
I'm
you
saying is that I mean I think everything is just different now, but it's the same.
It's the same
problem,
game, the same
game.
issue.
Right? Correct.
No, I don't think that because I think we had periods of time, things that came about that showcases, right? There was greater unity within our community, right? And I do
Yeah,
believe,
I think before me personally, I'll take a hard take on this. I just think I think a lot of what happened is that when we were like segregated, I think it forced us to stick together, where integration makes us not stick together as much. Meaning that like that's how you get Black Wall Streets. This is why you have if you have a community, right? Like if you look at even immigrant mentality when they come to the United States, they live in a community and they all sit together. They spend their money with each other. They do all that stuff together, right?
but that happens outside if you're segregated or not because they're integrated within
But
everything.
no, but what I'm saying is that but you're kind of not integrated when you come here and you're in your community. Let's say like some of the people that what's happening right now with the ICE raids and all that. Yeah. Let's just say you don't speak English and all that, but you live in your community and you're not fluent English speaking.
Yeah, you're in a bubble.
Right, you're in a bubble. You live amongst your people. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to say you live in Miami.
Correct. Let's say you live in Miami, or you live in, let's say, some small town where there's a high concentration.
No, like
Well,
I'm just saying.
But I like that example. I like this example.
You walk in Walgreens in Miami,
I like this example.
And you will see people speaking Spanish that works there. It's extremely common to the point where you do not have to really speak English if you do not want to in Miami.
But that's why my friends in Miami. Well, in Miami they always say this. They like my buddies are like, oh, so like what are you like? No, I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. I ain't gonna do them. But they would be like, stop. But they would be like, well, what are you? Because they're so used to people having culture. So meaning that it's like it's very just African American there. It's like you're from somewhere. You're Haitian or you're something. You're something. So you have a community.
You can be your own character.
Different place.
You can't just be black. You're Nigerian black. Or you Ghana.
Different place.
You know what I'm saying? Like Atlanta like that with the Africans in the African communities.
Seattle's like that. You go to Seattle, it's in a bubble as well. There's a strong, huge Asian community out there. Canada, different parts of Canada is like that.
Absolutely. Especially with a lot of like places from the islands and a lot of people are up in Canada.
But the point, my point in saying all of that, to go back to what we were talking about before. So in those places, dang, what were we talking about?
Yeah, you gotta get in the DeLorean and go back to the future. Let's see what
you
we talking about.
He said integrated, segregated. We were talking about sticking together as a community.
Right. Okay. To that point, I think yes, people came over on the boat and they stuck with the people that they came with, their culture, right, to thrive, and that still exists now, right? But still, they can walk into all the places and have access to all the places. There was only one primarily, and it was other groups, people of color, specifically the ones black and brown people, Asian people, as well as who am I thinking of? Native Americans, right? We were basically pushed into a corner, right? We did not have the same access. So to me, I refute that argument and simply say, yes, people came and they made sure they stuck with their culture, but they still had access. We didn't have access to everything. So I think history shows there was unity after, segregation ended and all that stuff, and everyone's integrated in. Unity still happened, but I think what I believe to be is that, and this, for some people is dead on the truth, there was laws that was passed, things that were put in place to restrict us in very similar fashions. And I think history has shown that exists for multiple different cultures that exist in America. Like I said, Native Americans. There's practices that's put in place right now.
Like right now, I would say this. I would say, look, and this is a hard take, and I'm not saying I'm wishing this. I'm saying, but they can go live on a reservation and it's still their community. Like, we don't get that. We start a community, people are gonna come and be like, "What y'all doing?" Well, like, let's just say we went and we got a bunch of land somewhere, and we're like, all right, look, we're all got this mindset, right, of black excellence, like how Puff would.
They gonna set it
how
on
Puff.
fire.
No, not Puff. You put Puff and black excellence.
Well, he used to say it. Okay, all right, he said it.
I know what
you
mean.
Just say, but like black
Talk
excellence,
about the studio.
like the
labs.
No,
this is black excellence right here.
That is
black
black
talk about
excellence.
us right here.
Let's separate that from Puffy and Diddy and all that stuff.
I'm saying instead of Puffy and Diddy, black excellence is here.
Jay-Z.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Jay-Z. Saying we got baby oil in the back right here.
The Rock Nation brunch. The Rock Nation brunch.
Hey, we bringing a couple
black excellence.
We're not okay.
Black excellence.
We're black excellence. I agree with it. We're excellence in black.
Now, okay, all right. Now.
Hey, can we just say Diddy did some excellent shit?
Oh my God.
Aside from what's going on right now.
No, he has success. He has success.
Yeah.
He has success.
Let's not take that away.
I ain't taking none. We don't care. That man finna come home and get on everybody's ass.
I feel like
I defended you.
I feel like we can take it away.
Brought us to Harlem Shaking.
Hey, that man finna come home.
I ain't doing it ever again.
Listen,
you ain't never Harlem Shaking?
I will say this conversation is diabolical. We just went from black excellence to Diddy.
It was wild.
Who said?
Shout him up.
That's his boy right there.
His number one fan.
Shout out to my boy.
That's his homie.
It's your boy.
It's your boy, Diddy.
But go ahead.
But to speak of this, so we bring a bunch of like great, excellent versions of our community, and we all come together. We buy like this big plot of land nobody's living on, right?
Yep, we've done that. But go ahead.
I know what happened to it.
We got burnt
Why?
down.
What happened?
Got
Why?
burnt down.
I thought, but how come?
But that fits into what I'm saying.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that it fits into what I'm saying too, because I'm saying that us not being integrated with them is a good thing sometimes. Because
they burnt us down then.
What I'm trying to say is it's because of what? Because of the strength of us when we do work as a community and together.
But I'm saying
we spend the money with each other and not blow it on other things
right there.
and not
we've
being
done that,
controlled under their thumb.
But
right?
we've done that in both situations, right? You've seen like Atlanta exists.
But that's the small part
Ash
of
is
the
like,
country.
I don't want to say what I want to say.
dog.
Atlanta, no, but that's
I know what you want to say.
but that's to my
What industries are they in?
that's besides the point.
Okay.
Atlanta still exists.
Right.
That's besides the point. And to further that, I would simply say this: it's more periods of time past segregation and integration of Black people within the society that exists that we can showcase there was unity. Unity existed. Every time we've unified, it's been burnt down. That's the problem. I don't think the problem is if we were all still segregated, we'd be better off. I don't agree with that.
Why not?
Because we were persecuted.
Well, I'm saying, why just leave us
before and
alone?
after. They've never.
Y'all stay over there, we stay over here.
But
Right.
that's never existed.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
Never existed.
I'm asking just for a friend out here. Why do they care so much about what we do?
Because they scared of us.
Why?
Because we powerful.
Because of Black excellence.
If we can make it through
Shout out to Puff.
slavery,
He said not okay. You know that's what I'm talking about. He'll say one thing, and I'm like, yeah, and then he'll say something right after that.
And then Jay's like, not 101, not 101.
That's not what I know. No.
we can overcome slavery.
Yeah.
You know how powerful that is?
We're very powerful.
We're very powerful.
In unity.
No, Thomas, you can't talk.
In poverty,
You sold us out.
poverty,
I didn't say it. I didn't get paid yet.
Right.
Listen, class.
All right, let's go.
Just playing.
Yeah.
Let's go. No, you talking.
I was just saying though, like in poverty and slavery and all of that, and overcome that. So imagine the opposite, and we come together. I'd be scared too.
We just need to do like you said. Get this shit out your mind to where like you got to have a Jewish lawyer. You got to have your doctor ain't good unless he's such and such color. You're an Indian doctor. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a black doctor.
There's
a black
lots of
lawyer.
stereotypes that exist.
God, but they're so good.
No.
I'm so sick of you. You gotta leave.
No.
Make him leave.
They're so darn good at
Look,
this.
if we
gotta
just start
go.
spending, finding the companies like I try to buy black. You know what I'm saying? When I can. You know, I try to keep the money in our pocket.
Wait. So you believe in that?
Buying and supporting our
Like
community that
purposely,
way. Yeah.
when you go to buy something, you purposely like, okay, I need a chiropractor.
Intentionally.
Let me find a black chiropractor. Are you being that intentional?
I ain't never been that intentional. No.
Do we think? I'm not saying this because
Like
I'm talking about
purposely-
skin products and like shopping.
No, but
like
what
that,
would
you know
happen
what
if
I'm
for everything
How you know it's
we
black
took
owned?
the extra step to
saying?
do
You do
that?
the research, and there's a black man that owns the company or a woman.
And they put a sign in the window.
Yeah, it was the fist, the little black fist. in there.
That's not always true.
That don't mean that.
Oh,
Look, the white owner put it in there to trick you.
This was awesome. This was an authentic fist. It had everything that I knew that was the right fist.
I got to see the actual fist.
Let me see your face.
The thumb outside was the closed inside. Like, well, how's the fist?
I got to make sure
Was
nothing
it
rubs
right
off.
You can print that on Etsy for 10 cents. Anybody can put that in their
The
window.
little black fist.
Yes.
What do you think, Brittany? Do you go out your way to be intentional about the businesses?
More recently, I do. And this seems like an extra step. So most people are like, oh, I know this person, or I've been going to this person for so long. But what if we did that? Like, what would that look like? What would society look like in a year, 2 years, 5 years? For big purchase items. Like, I'm not talking about, oh, we don't go to Target or whatever. Like, you actually are hurting black-owned businesses when you do stupid stuff like that. Cause
No, you're not.
They're in Target.
No, they're not in Target.
yes, they
Our
are.
black-owned businesses aren't in Target.
So Tabitha ain't in Target?
They cut their program.
They are in Target.
No, they were in Target.
Okay.
But it's like
I use the old example, so I shouldn't have said that.
I'll mess there.
Okay, if I want a black doctor, a black chiropractor, a lawyer, a dentist, whatever, then those types of things, yes, I do. A therapist, I do look for that so that I can be like, oh, this person really helps me in this area. I'm not talking about like smaller stuff.
In business,
Why can't it be smaller stuff, dude?
It can. I'm just saying.
Oh, as an example.
I'm saying I'm going
Okay.
extra past the smaller
Okay,
stuff.
I see.
I'm not
I
like,
see. I see.
yeah, I'm not. Okay, I might see, oh, that beauty supply is owned by
Yep.
the A-Rap.
You're trying to go to
versus the
bigger
black-
stuff, bigger
But I'm saying
things.
with big items, I'm like, okay, I really would like to give this person my business just on principle.
What about
I
you?
mean,
go ahead, no, go sorry.
Now you gotta have the
in
reviews to match.
business-
Let me clear that up. You need some reviews. Like you ain't doing it.
yeah, it's
Sorry,
got
I
to be
haven't-
reputable.
Why not?
Yeah.
No, because some
you
people
gotta buy
do
a good
that.
product. You can't buy.
Some people do that, and then the customer service is trash, and then
Okay.
I vouch for you, and then you doing more harm than good.
Agreed.
Okay, what you about to say
The
something?
the convenience store industry. There's a not I wouldn't say monopoly, but there's a demographic that owns these stores, and there's also a demographic that sells the products to the stores at the
Yep.
cost that they can get that
Of
nobody else gets. You know what I'm saying? So it's extremely hard to enter into the gas station, the convenience store industry in some areas.
Yeah. What do you think, Ash?
I mean, I agree with what everybody said. I mean, I just think that, I mean, you know, you do what you can, but the world is in such a place. I don't really have an answer for the actual fix.
Stop buying beats from the white
Well, we
man.
can't fix it.
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, there
Yeah,
is
come
no-
to me. I'm
fix.
Oh wait, sorry, Faith. She needs some beats too. No, we can't do
y'all
it like
stop.
that.
Yo,
Yeah.
bro. Okay,
No,
that's
bad.
okay. First off,
I love her.
no. First
Y'all
off,
stop that now.
we all
we're
have.
talking black and
We
white.
all.
Oh my
some
God,
of us
I was
have.
just kidding. Oh my God.
some of us are married to people of different cultures. So
I was absolutely just kidding. I want to say that. I was just kidding. We were talking
No,
about
there's no
supporting
jokes on
black.
this show. This is
We were
serious.
talking about supporting black.
I'm fucking with you.
So I was just wondering what that would look like in the music industry, but it was a joke, and I'm sorry.
I mean, in music business, I don't even know how that's even possible.
That's kind of what I was
Just because
getting
of
at. Yeah.
of the
Like,
the way
it was sarcasm,
the
yeah.
power vacuum.
power it be.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, I think this. I think I'm all for being intentional about my purchases, but I'm also all for seeking excellence, making sure what I'm seeking is excellent, and it is excellence, I should say, in general, because what I do think, and I think you touched on this a little bit, what I do think is toxic for the black culture is only buying black, and then you're you're pushing businesses that are actually not really good businesses.
Right.
We're not challenging ourselves to be greater than just having, I got a black business, so you should just buy me on the street for a black
be a
business.
great
No,
black
it's just
business.
you gotta go
you
the
know?
extra step. I'm saying look
Yep.
and then still do your research. I'm not saying just
Right.
like, oh, he's black. Yep, here we go.
No, I
No,
agree.
yeah,
no,
yeah,
I'm agreeing with you, but some people out there are not doing that.
I
Some
mean, you
people
ain't
just-
buying businesses that aren't black, that aren't good products.
No, that's true.
No, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
But
That'd be fair.
some people do go out there and say, you know what? Because you black on, I'm gonna just buy because you black on the strength of that. And I think some of that is good because when someone first starts a business, be honest with
They may
you,
not have a lot of.
they don't got a lot of
experience.
reviews. They may not have a lot of
Yeah.
experience. They got to cut their teeth somewhere. You know what I'm saying, as they say.
Agreed.
So like you got to give them a chance to really get their get their feet wet, so to speak.
Like you should vet a person, but not. Sometimes we're harder on ourselves. We don't vet them the way we vet.
Facts.
So I'm saying we should vet it to a certain extent, but not like
Give 'em a chance.
nitpick every little thing. If they, like you said, if they're fresh, somebody had to be their first client,
Agreed.
first customer, or
'em a
whatever.
chance.
We'll go into a different establishment and just trust it because it just looks like
Yep.
it just looks trustworthy. Just why? Because it looks like it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm mad we talking on code.
I know.
Podcast. Yeah, it don't look like it. You know.
And it look like
We know, man. You
But,
can get that
yeah.
feeling and tell.
So I think that's good for us to be able to do that. But I think there's a little bit of a reinsurgence right now of some of these things that we're talking about. I feel like there is a little bit more concentration on being more intentional and trying to push up the culture. I think that's starting.
Well,
to
I think
happen.
everybody better start doing something because we about to get put in a zoo.
That's what you think.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, with the,
Sorry.
obviously when we talk about AI and all that, we better start being unified at some point, right?
Well, then we're all humans at that point.
Yeah, I would hope we're all human at that point. I hope we're just one race of people.
And you know what?
Us fighting the robots.
I was fighting the robots.
He gonna be I Am Legend. He gonna be I Robot.
He gonna be Terminator.
I'm in all the movies. I'm a Terminator, man. I'm here to save us.
He gonna be everywhere.
I'm here to save us, guys.
He gonna be the one to convert it to the robot. Like, this changed me. I'll become one of you now. Okay.
Oh my god.
Thomas out there like, yes, propaganda. Please become a robot right now. They pay me $5 million.
Right.
I'm on your side, Robot.
You said how much money you talking about?
Right. I'm out there with the rebels trying to fight the cause. No, stand on principle. No.
Fighting with the resistance.
Got no shoes. No.
Yeah, I'll be like, Jay, come to the good side.
Hey, look.
Well, y'all gonna be the ones with the money taking all these bribes. So,
I know, we'll be rich. I'll be living in a what they call a dystopia. Huh?
We might be the one being able to control them robots.
I mean,
No, you ain't controlling the robot.
Nah.
What movie have you been watching?
They controlling you. And like as soon as Thomas get out of line,
You said what movie?
they in the basement talking about you. If he does this one thing,
I have seen a robot slap somebody up though.
I did. I saw that shit.
Yeah,
I sent y'all the video with the joint jumped off the bed.
ass. Said, pow, pow. It's flinging all around.
Did it? Yeah, that's the video I sent you.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
what was it?
It was in the factory. They was
He was
programming.
chopping these dudes.
He
Just started just going crazy, hitting everything.
Yeah, he was
Actually
trying-
hurting people?
Nah, he was trying to do something, and then they turned them off in time.
Yeah.
You think it's funny, but like it may happen.
Unplugged his
may
ass,
happen.
boy.
It may happen.
That's the name of the movie, Unplugged.
Unplugged. Yeah.
That'll be a good movie.
Wait, what?
Unplugged. That'll be
Is the
a
name
good...
of the movie?
How
Yeah,
we
we gonna
destroy
write
the
it,
robots.
A robot that used to unplug it. That's the end of the movie. You just walk up.
No.
It's gonna be a short movie.
It's going to be a lot of fighting to get us there, but yeah.
They'll do a lot of fighting and realize. So all I had to do was unplug.
It's gonna be a little short film.
No, not from the actual robot. It's going to be like some external source that we have to go climb to.
Oh, we gotta climb the mountain.
Yeah, we
unplug
gotta-
the big plug.
No, it's like the master. Yeah. The chill. It wasn't even that funny.
It was a little.
You know, this robot on the with an extension cord.
The robots are smart enough to put it up on Mount Everest.
Oh man. Sorry.
Yeah, we might have to go to Wakanda to do it.
You know what I'm
With the
saying? They got shields.
Yeah.
I'm with all of that. I'm with anything. Listen, you can be excellent and be with other cultures and celebrate your own cultures, right? Excellence is for everybody.
I just flipped that back. It got me weak.
Sorry. No, but I'm for real. Because I want to bring it back around. Because sometimes we have moments where we're musing to something and we start
You
talking.
saying like celebrate other cultures, like on
What
Cinco
I'm
de
saying
Mayo
is,
and stuff.
no. What I'm saying is this:
Bruh.
we can have excellence within our culture, but also celebrate other cultures. It's not just look. We only can concentrate on ourselves and nothing else. But I do think, as a culture, we need to spend some time figuring out how we can build up our culture. Because if we don't, we will be priced out of our houses. We'll be priced out of our properties, whatever they may be. We will not have a seat at the table. Final thoughts.
I want to sit at that table. I do.
Okay.
So I'm not going to say what I said I was going to say earlier. I want to be part of
Nope,
my culture.
you're out. You're out now.
You know, money don't
Chat,
matter.
chat, get him.
We already don't. We don't mess with you no more.
I'm tearing the check up. I don't want your checks no more.
Call you Uncle Thomas.
But we know the truth.
Yeah, we call you Uncle Thomas.
We know the truth. If we in a cabin somewhere
me
and it's the
Uncle Get
four
Paid.
of us, we
That's
know
what
you'll... Yeah.
Uncle, get this money real quick. Uncle came up on something
Uncle
real
You
fast.
can't renege what you said. We already know you'll turn on us.
Yo, but his name is Thomas. I'm dead. Go ahead. Go
Dalvin
ahead.
Thomas?
I would just say that there's probably not going to be a table because of AI. So
Yeah, okay. Well,
there it is.
There's a black AI out there.
Huh? I don't know. I don't know what the AI is. And I don't know if the
But you
AI
know,
is
hold on,
gonna-
wait. I would say this. You know, they asked AI. They asked what if you had to pick one culture you want to be. You know what the answer was?
Probably black.
It said black.
Well, yeah.
The AI said that?
Yep.
I would choose to be
Aw.
black if I had a choice, like to
what's
come back
up.
to life.
Yeah. But Brittany, final words.
That's cool. Shit out
Like,
of me,
that's
Thomas.
them already. The robots in this mug. No.
Oh, it was knocked at the back door. I was like, oh,
Wait, what?
It has begun.
Go ahead, Brittany. Last thoughts.
Seek truth.
There you go.
I like that.
Always seek truth. Now we discovered we may not know what truth is.
Man.
It could be perception, but
I like that.
However you do it, always be learning, always be growing, always be looking for ways to interact with people who don't believe the way that you believe.
Yep.
So,
I'm gonna plus one you. Seek truth, love, and perspectives. Let's go. Come on now.
Drop
peace,
mic.
love, and soul.
Now,
bro.
look, I got it from you. I got 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. All right. So we come to the end. I think this was a funny episode as well as a very enlightening episode. Us going through a couple different topics. Appreciate y'all joining us on this journey, and we'll talk to y'all later. We out, baby.
Peace.
Peace.